Number 9, build an emergency fund. Save at least 3 to 6 months worth of living expenses in an easily accessible account. This buffer can be invaluable during unexpected financial hardships. I'm a huge fan of this.
You
This is
are.
one of the absolute basic fundamental principles I learned in the very beginning,
Mhm.
and you and I didn't always agree on this.
We did not
You
agree
had a
on
thought
this.
of put the money to work.
Yeah.
If it's sitting there not working, it's lazy money. Don't let
Mhm.
lazy money exist. Put it to work.
Yeah.
And what I learned, and it actually changed when I became a husband, and then it intensified when I became a father 2 times. I learned this principle a long time ago because I've been in positions where I did not have 3 to 6 months of cash savings, and I hit a month or two where I had more bills than money, and I had to sit there freaking out trying to figure out how in the world am I going to cover this next bill.
Yeah.
And I hated that feeling. I hated that feeling. I said, you know what? I'm never going to have that feeling again.
Yeah.
And I remember even when I started making a good amount of money, I think I was 24, I was living in the front den of a house, and I made $100,000 in 8 months, which was a big deal for me back then. That 6-figure mark, which was a huge accomplishment, or at least it felt like it. And I remember I was ready to get this apartment down on the beach, and instead of just moving,
Mhm.
I said, you know what I'm going to do? I said, in life, it's inevitable that at some point we're going to hit a bump in the road. So instead of just moving, I'm going to save up. I'm going to figure out what are all my expenses now, and what are all my expenses now, and what are all my expenses once I move. And then I'm going to save up 3 months of the expenses I'm going to have once I move. That way, once I get there, I have a 3-month runway of buffer in case anything goes wonky that I could back myself up with. And as silly as that sounds, it delayed me moving probably 4 or 5 months because I had to save. But what was fun is I never once ever had to worry about paying my rent in this apartment I wanted on the beach. And then I said, you know what? I'm going to do that. For every big move I'm ever going to make, I'm just going to figure out what my overhead's going to be at that next level or next stage. I'm going to set 3 months of that aside. So once I get to that level, I have a 3-month buffer at any point. I never have to worry. So someone told me an analogy on this, and it made a lot of sense. It made me laugh. I'm not a big gambler. I have people in my family who love to play games and stuff like that. They think it's fun. But they said, just think of the mindset. Think of the feeling of how it would feel. They said, imagine if you sat down at a card table and you had $100,000 and that's all you had to your name. That is it. That is everything you own right there. How much are you willing to risk to try to play the game? Now, for most people, if you're smart, maybe 20%, maybe 30%, maybe 10%. You're not willing to risk a lot because that's all you got. You got to protect it. Versus if I said, hey, you have 12 months of savings of all your rent, all your all your food, all your travel, all your fun. You have 12 months of cash set aside that covers everything for 12 months in your life. Now you sit at the table with $100,000 to play the game. How much are you willing to risk? Most people are like, $100,000? I mean, shoot, how much can I make? What's the ROI I get by when? They start talking and behaving totally differently. This is an upside and a downside.
Yeah, for sure.
The upside here is it allows them to play the game of life at a whole different level of intensity because they're not worried if I screw up, I'm out.
Yeah.
They play life at a whole different level, which is fun. Now, this is where you definitely need that group of advisors around you. Because when you start playing life at this level and you start really going for it, you need people to poke holes in it and help you figure out, what don't you see because you're playing so aggressively. But it allows you to play the game of life at a whole different level, which is a lot of fun. And it's very free. And even if you do go to zero, that's okay. It's not really zero. It's just zero on what you had on the table. Well, the fun part about that is you pull back, you save up a few months, get another stack, and go at it again. And so it allows you to really start playing not just defense, but it allows you to play a whole nother level of offense, which things get really exciting and fun. So I've had to help probably thousands of people get this discipline in place, but once they've done it, all of them have blossomed or bloomed in so many ways, and it's so fun.
So true.